Welcome to Sanctuary Cap Cana, one of the most luxurious adults-only resorts in the Caribbean. Set on a cliff above the ocean, this all-inclusive retreat is part of the Cap Cana community, the most prestigious area throughout all of the Dominican Republic. Its turquoise waters, castle-like architecture, and one-of-a-kind atmosphere make Sanctuary Cap Cana feel like something out of a dream. In this video, I'm spending a few nights on property to give you the full experience. From the unique rooms and elegant dining, to the private beaches, peaceful pools, and the hidden details that make this property truly special.
Sanctuary Cap Cana, Punta Cana. Finally, I am here. Finally, I might have made a grave mistake and put this hotel in the middle of my trip. It might have been better served at the end. This could be it. This could be the property in Punta Cana. I've been looking for the one for a long time. I've almost hit on a few, but this might actually score perfect. I just have that feeling. It's like Win Encore. You hear it's elite, you walk in, you see it's elite, and you have that feeling that it is what people say it is. Will this place live up to its expectations? Is it as good as everyone says it is? We're gonna find out. This is Sanctuary Cap Cana, Punta Cana.
Sanctuary Cap Cana doesn't just promise impeccable service, they prove it immediately. The moment my taxi door opened, I was personally greeted and warmly welcomed inside the property, both like a VIP and an old friend. Check-in wasn't a process, it felt more like a private concierge experience. No lines, no counters, no traditional lobby. Instead, I was guided to an oversized sofa and told to relax while my reservation was being prepped. This four-diamond resort blends Spanish colonial architecture with Gothic, medieval, and even a little bit of steampunk style. Vaulted ceilings, ornate stonework, indoor fountains, this atmosphere is truly luxurious. Sanctuary Cap Cana is unlike any all-inclusive resort I've ever seen. With just a few moments before my room was ready, I wandered to the back towards the tucked-away coffee shop. It was boutique and charming and had a vivid array of decadent pastries and a full menu of artisan coffees. After a couple of each, I stepped outside on the grand terrace, and that's when I realized Sanctuary Cap Cana is special. With 324 rooms, I was expecting something a bit more intimate, but this place is sprawling. Luscious landscapes, multiple pools, fluorescent waters, a majestic castle on the cliff, they all look absolutely spectacular. I can't wait to experience each one and so much more. At 657 square feet, this is a massive entry-level room. The open floor plan, rich woods, and radiant ambiance made the space feel almost as heavenly as the views, which you'll see in just a moment. For an elite all-inclusive, the minibar setup was pretty standard. Espresso machine and teas up top, with a solid assortment of refreshments below. I particularly liked the local Cap Cana cerveza. It was an authentic touch and a delicious alternative to the usual suspects. The bathroom features a dual vanity with external sinks and a glowing accent wall. An oversized silver rainhead and a contrasty onyx handle made the shower a perfect balance of form and function. And yes, of course, there's even a phone in the water closet because Sanctuary's impeccable service is always just a phone call away. The bed. If this was my personal dream getaway, I'd be right here for days. My eyes would only switch back and forth between the breathtaking views and the room service menu. The chic, ceiling-high headboard commands attention, and the fine thread sheets and blissful mattress are guaranteed to keep it. An ultra-wide archway introduces the living area. The desk is a great place just to organize essentials, and the dark rattan furniture was a classy touch. It's great for extra storage or just another place to relax besides the bed. Every room at Sanctuary Cap Cana comes with either a balcony or a terrace, but I could not imagine having one without an ocean view. The water here is surreal. It's a hyper neon turquoise that I didn't even know existed, and it becomes more and more translucent as it approaches the shore. Only from above does the full scale and splendor of the property set in. The colors look photoshopped, and the castle off in the distance It creates a view of living artwork. I can absolutely say that this is the best view I've ever seen in Punta Cana. As soon as I settled into my room, I splashed onto the bed like a boat anchor hitting the water. After just a few comatose minutes, I arose, reinvigorated, not because the bed had any magical powers, but because it was time to eat. I opened the room service menu with the excitement of a 10-year-old unwrapping a brand new comic book. Lunch and dinner are combined into one all-day menu. That results in double the options. But that created an unexpected problem. Usually at an all-inclusive, I'm thankful to find one thing I'm semi-motivated to order. At Sanctuary Cap Cana, I couldn't find one thing not to order. I had analysis paralysis. The salmon lasagna tasted just as unique as it sounds. Either the chef is a culinary genius, or he's just mixing together leftover groceries. I still prefer the traditional version, but the salmon elevated the dish and definitely reduced the calories. At most all-inclusives, a burger has as much in common with a hockey puck as it does with food. Sanctuary would never commit a culinary crime like that. My expectations were higher, and they were met. The burger wasn't Michelin level, but it was beyond decent. The subtle touches like the olive on top and the newspaper wrapping made the in-room dining feel more craft than it did cafeteria. Just as I was finishing my meal, a light rain began. Given the indulgence so far on this trip and the stamina needed for what lies ahead, that slight rain was the only motivation I needed to climb back in bed for some much-needed rest and relaxation.
So this is a first for the channel. Officially one of the strangest updates I've done. I'm inside a silent box. I've seen these at the airport, and I've seen these in like Gen Z or modern workplaces. Never have I seen one at a hotel, and never would I expect to see one here at Sanctuary. I'm encapsulated, I'm separated, but I'm still looking into society, but yet I'm completely separated from it. This is the future for sure. This is a lot like the Cosmo, in the sense that if you were to pitch this concept to an investor, you'd probably get kicked out of the room. You're like, hey, I'm going to build this hotel in Cap Cana, and it's going to be a castle in the Caribbean. And it's going to be new construction, but we're going to make it look really old. And it's going to have a ton of refinement and distinction and sophistication, butlers and concierge and the utmost in service, but we're also going to make it very modern. It's going to have some Gothic elements. It's going to be a little quirky, and it's also going to be very comfortable and casual. I don't even know how you pull that off, but they did here absolutely perfectly. I just finished up at the castle pool. I came inside to cool down a little bit and to get a drink. I have a strawberry mango daiquiri. There is food in here as well, but I'm not really hungry at the moment. And there was wait staff if you want to just eat outside, but I want to come in and check out the lobby, the bar, the grounds, the atrium. This is a hotel within a hotel concept, and that just solidifies the coolness of this hotel even more. The castle is definitely a different feel and a different experience, and I definitely have my thoughts on if you need it or not. So I made it all the way to the end of the castle. I just walked all the way to the end and look at what I found. How cool are these rooms right here? Now, I'm not sure I should be walking in this, but I'm going to. Definitely against my better judgment. This turret right here I'm obsessed with it. This turret is so cool. It's like looks to be like a deck area. These have to be the best rooms on property. On a whim, I just walked all the way down to the first floor because I saw like these bolly beds. And I liked how they were just kind of featured right on a prominent part of this cliff. Come out here, take a walk, and then just take in these views. This water is a color I've never seen in Punta Cana. This is like sugary electric Kool-Aid, hyper turquoise. Magical. These views are magical. The water's magical. It looks like they have some apparatus here to keep the seaweed out, which is admirable. the epitome of exclusive and private. I had to traverse rocks and a moat to get up here. This is unreal. This is next level right here. This is pretty cool. So my plan was to walk back to the main property. I thought I would just cut across these rooms in this space, but can't. Literally, there's a moat. Literally, there's a moat separating me from getting back to the property.
Sanctuary Cap Cana has 5 standalone pools, each different, distinguished, and delightful. High above it all, the rooftop castle pool provides the resort's most exclusive experience, offering the highest privacy, service, and luxury. Just steps from the lobby, the convenience pool provides easy access paired with dramatic views. Its striking infinity edge makes it the ideal spot to soak up some quick vitamin D or appreciate the resort's most scenic vantage point. The infinity edge cascades into a captivating waterfall below, forming the third pool. This photogenic hideaway can be the perfect backdrop for that unforgettable vacation memory, while the soothing sound of flowing water calms the senses. Bordering the beach and shaped like a natural cove, the main pool feels like a seamless extension of the ocean itself. As the largest pool and centerpiece of the resort, it gently draws guests with its relaxed energy and crowd favorite swim-up bar. Hidden just behind the main pool lies the Sanctuary Pool. True to its name, this secluded oasis is surrounded by lush greenery, forming a natural barrier from the rest of the resort. The result is pure tranquility. Destination Bar is where I punctuated my pool day. Conveniently positioned between the pools and the beach, Destination Bar lived up to its name. I stayed much longer than originally intended. The cocktails were beyond authentic, providing not just a true taste of the Caribbean, but a genuinely unique mixology you can only find at Sanctuary Cap Cana. Opening at 10 a.m., Destination Bar is also the ideal spot to jumpstart your morning with a healthy smoothie or detox drink. Detox and then retox. It's one of my favorite vacation combinations. With extensive menus for both drink varieties, guaranteed to impress casual drinkers and connoisseurs alike, Destination Bar was appropriately named. It quickly became a core part of my Sanctuary experience. Sanctuary Cap Cana offers 5 fine dining options in the evening, with the Steakhouse dominating in popularity. While resembling an Argentinian grill, its atmosphere evokes the charm of an old-world Spanish restaurant, with colonial architecture, an unusual layout, and a double-decker design. The blend of aged brickwork and centuries-old wood with modern art and fresh decor, the Steakhouse feels like a beloved European eatery that stood the test of time. The ambiance alone justifies the popularity, but it's the menu and the quality that truly solidify it. Argentinian-inspired but distinctly American-styled, the menu offers a diverse medley of hot and cold starters paired perfectly with signature cocktails. Each appetizer was impeccable, pleasing presentation, proper portions, and premium quality. The mixed grill, however, was the piece de resistance. Presented tableside, sizzling and steaming, this array of the Steakhouse's most delicious offerings was a combination of both live ordering and culinary performance. With menu and meal momentum peaking, indulging in double desserts felt like the natural conclusion to an all-inclusive dinner that may be the greatest yet. Desperately needing to walk off the excess calories from dinner, I strolled over to the nearby main building to scope out the nightlife. Visually, Love Bar ranks among my favorite spots on property. It's where Sanctuary's personality truly shines. The grand archways and towering columns glow with elegant gold accent lighting and futuristic chandeliers. Perfectly polished and furnished with chic decor, Love Bar might be brilliantly named. It resembles a place where a couple could first meet or even get married. As I began to enjoy another creatively curated cocktail, the evening entertainment began outside. Entertainment, technically, but in reality, it was tame. Upscale, yes, but utterly uninteresting. Still not surprising. In fact, the lackluster show felt more authentically Sanctuary than something flashier or typical of an all-inclusive resort. Mornings at Sanctuary Cap Cana are special. The sun bounces its light off the water and hits the castle like an all-star point guard's bounce pass to a big man. Sanctuary's full vibrance isn't yet on full display, but the potential is there. It's more pre-game hype than game time action. Rumor has it that the breakfast buffet is legendary, so saving that as a capstone for tomorrow seems fitting. Today's schedule is jam-packed enough. There's a fine dining lunch option, an afternoon at the beach. Sanctuary just doesn't have a food court, but an entire food town that's open to the public, and there's even a late-night disco pub. And before all of that, I want to explore the rest of the castle. Everyone staying at Sanctuary Cap Cana has access to the castle and all its amenities. The pool, bar, restaurant, spa, gym, and more. Should you upgrade to a castle suite? All I can say is that upgrading will surely enhance your Sanctuary experience, but not doing so doesn't diminish it one bit. Convenient access to the gym, spa, and castle pool, as well as an enhanced room and a more secluded feel, that's attractive to some. But for me, I'll check it out next time. This trip, I still had the gym practically all to myself, and the hybrid atrium meets cave with waterfall, it was just as marvelous. Beachside and the only fine dining restaurant open during the day, Blue Marlin was the obvious lunch choice. Perched on stilts, overlooking the ocean, Sanctuary Cap Cana claims it's the most spectacular dining setting in the Dominican Republic. That might be true, especially since evening reservations are limited to 6 people or less. But for lunch, I waltzed right in. The meal was so delicious, it made me wonder if dinner here could rival the Steakhouse. The signature cocktail and ceviche are mandatory. The sugarcane cocktail looked identical to the ocean that was just inches away, and the ceviche's freshness spoke for itself. After spotting and quickly devouring the rare Russian salad, I regretted not ordering a true entree. Not because the surf and turf burger didn't satisfy, it absolutely did, but because lunch hinted that Blue Marlin had even more culinary muscle to flex. If Sanctuary Cap Cana has a weakness, it's the beach. Compared to nearby Secrets Cap Cana and Hyatt Zilara, Sanctuary's beach is a distant third. But compared to beaches in northern Punta Cana, such as Uvero Alto or Macau, Sanctuary's beach is superior. All beaches in Cap Cana are man-made, and Sanctuary's is constantly maintained. That means the sand stays fluffy and white, the shore consistently has space, and thanks to Sanctuary's special seaweed stopper, the water remains reliably clear.
I shut down Sanctuary Town, and I am proud to say that. I had so much fun. I never saw it coming. If I had to come back and do it over again, I would come here. The complete window from 6 to 11. I can't even imagine what type of Tasmanian devil contrail I would leave behind me if I did that. I did a lot of damage in just a couple hours. So started with the sushi place. How do I judge all-inclusive sushi? It's very simple. Will it barely pass as San Diego sushi? Not like ritzy Carlsbad Encinitas sushi, but like urban oceanside sushi, which is still a tough test to pass. This one did. And not only that, it's the best sushi I've had at any all-inclusive. The nigiri fusion was an interesting concept. At that point, it's basically just a glorified sushi roll, but I like the creativity. After that, I sauntered over to the burger place for round two. I ordered the beefiest burger on the menu, which is the Boss Burger. It had an egg on top that always gets my attention, always makes me smile. You know the drill at that point. All it has to do is be edible. It was barely. We are putting it in the win column. And then after that, I went over to the pizza place. That was mind-blowing for all-inclusive pizza. Best pizza I've had at any all-inclusive, not even close. In its own strata, Neapolitan, so super classical and traditional. It had the look, had the taste, had the texture, remarkably accurate for all-inclusive pizza. And then after that, I went over for round four, which would be the dessert shop, the ice cream shop, candy parlor. That was like an art museum of desserts. The colors and the presentation and the arrangements and just the diversity from all the different types of pastries and sweets and ice creams, just basically every dessert imaginable in its most beautiful shape and form. I was on the best behavior possible, and that was still me ordering 4 things. That place is scary, scary, scary awesome. And then I finished at World of Cervezas. At any venue, at any all-inclusive, it's tough to find multiple offerings of cervezas. Anything more than 3 is just mind-shattering. They had like 20 in there. And yeah, you got to pay out of pocket for the exotic stuff, but what, $5-6 a bottle for a proper, legitimate brew? No problem. So I had quite the night. I never expected it. Again, if I had to go back and do it over again, I would take my time and really, really enjoy that part of the property because it is quite enjoyable. One last thing to do, and that is to check out some nightlife at the Disco Pub by the pool. Last night was awesome. I'm not disappointed in the after-hours spot because there was an after-hours spot. Usually at places of this ilk, it's tough to get a drink after midnight. And I always like it when any property has a late night after-hours spot. And this one was exactly what you would imagine when you think of a disco pub. This is not a party property, nor is there going to be a bunch of energy. But comparing it to the likes of, say, an Excellence, there's a lot more energy here than there is up there. That is for sure. I think given the right crowd, right time, just right mood, that place could have some potential. And I got the feeling walking in there that those walls had some stories. I'll leave it at that. This morning, I just relaxed. I took in this property. It's so serene, and so is the buffet. It's so incredible. I'm gonna head back in there and show it to you. This you have to see.
Just like Blue Marlin, the breakfast buffet is much more than meets the eye. Stations are spaciously spread out, nearly every item is served directly to you, and the displayed breakfast entrees are purely for inspiration. Each dish is custom made to order. The elegant luxury kitchen vibe creates an experience that's part buffet, part caterer, and part private chef. The service is so outrageous that even the little things like sprinkles or almond flakes are added for you, never by you. As far as my overall experience at Sanctuary Cap Cana, it was unforgettable. After staying at 30 of Punta Cana's most popular all-inclusive resorts, the smaller beach was merely an asterisk. And the low-key nightlife, it's what you would expect from a resort of this caliber. At my perfect all-inclusive resort, the beach and nightlife would be bigger, but I'm still scoring Sanctuary a 6. Normally I have 3 negatives, but giving another one would be inauthentic and forced. The 5 spectacular pools more than offset any qualms about the beach. The service makes you feel both like a VIP and an old friend. And overall, the experience is guaranteed a spot on your Mount Rushmore of all-inclusive resorts. Sanctuary Cap Cana completely shatters the all-inclusive stereotype, so much so that returning to a typical resort is problematic. Actually, that might be my 3rd negative. There's only one Sanctuary Cap Cana.